Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J Rocks. Today I'm gonna be hitting you with a Wolverine review. That's right. You gotta love it, right? Wolverine. Okay, now this is a little different because it's not the 1988 series that started off with Chris Claremont and then was driven by Larry Hama the rest of the way. This one is the 2003 series. It started in 2003, so this is issues 20 to 32. It's the Ultimate Collection, Enemy of the State, the Ultimate Collection. So that means it's 2 story arcs, 12 issues. This is the back of it. It's let me see, $30 cover price. This is the back, basic trade paperback. It's written by Mark Millar, artwork by John Romita Jr., which I like. I like John Romita Jr.'s art. Digging his Punisher. That's what made me a fan of his art to begin with. Now what can I say about this? If you're familiar with Mark Millar, he's wrote Old Man Logan, wrote Civil War, which have both been turned into movies now, and he also wrote Wanted, Kick-Ass, which have also been turned into movies, but those latter two are not in Marvel Publishing that I know of. Okay, so now you kind of got an idea of this guy and the way he writes stories and so forth. They change him a little bit on the movies. Okay, so now that we know about all that, let's get to the story. This is what we're gonna do, guys. I'm gonna give you a brief review, my thoughts and opinions on the story. Post your comments, you agree, disagree, what did you like, what you didn't like if you have read this. And if you haven't, stick around for the rest of the show so I can show you. In the later half, it's gonna get a little spoiler heavy. And flip through a few pages, show off the art, and then kind of explain what's happening in that scene, and then talk about the art and the scene itself, right? So maybe that could sway you. If you haven't read it, maybe that will convince you to read it, or maybe it'll convince you that this is something you're not interested in and you just want to hear what it's about on the video. So that sounds good. We're on the same page here. All right, then let's get to it. This story, it's if you're a Wolverine fan and you read a good amount of Wolverine, this brings nothing new to the table. You've seen all this before. You could just pass. To me, this could be just a hard pass because maybe I've been jaded because I've read a good amount of Wolverine. If you haven't, you might see this differently. You might think, oh, it's a great story, a fun ride. You might soak it in a little different. And now let me explain why. This starts off with a guy, he's friends with this billionaire. They both have kids in the same little league team. Somebody kidnaps a kid. They take the wrong one, right? They're looking to take the billionaires. They take the regular kid. So I gotta go, since they took my kid, I don't have the money they're asking for. He's as good as dead. You know, it's obvious. It's a wrap. He's gone. So Wolverine hears about this. He's like, you know, this shit ain't right, homie. I'm gonna get some get back. So he goes and to look for the killers, right? So it starts off very grounded, like a samurai story, which I was digging. Then it quickly changes into some other shit. He gets brainwashed for like the millionth time. Wolverine has been brainwashed. That's just like played out, son. So I was like, Wolverine's getting brainwashed. I'm not even with that, you know. I know about all that. I've seen it done a million times already. So he gets brainwashed. It's just an excuse for the writer to make Wolverine the villain in the story and fight the good guys, which is what he does right here. So on this first half of the story, Wolverine just shredding through the good guys, and the Hand and Hydra are involved. So they're involved with making brainwashing Wolverine. But then you find out he's not the only one being brainwashed. They're killing all superheroes. And the Hand, they have the power to bring people back to life. If you're not too familiar with them, they can reincarnate people. They have like this pit or whatever where they bring them back. And so Wolverine's not the only one they've done this with. But he's going around killing other heroes, fighting them. So as they all die, they bring them all back to life, and now they're part of the bad guy squad, right? So now they're rolling with the bad guys. And the second half of the story, I like how they flip the script. They flip the script here. Wolverine now he's no longer brainwashed on the second story arc, and now he's the good guy. He's good again. And now all the good guys have been dead and brought back to life as bad guys. So now he's fighting all the same cats, but this time they're bad and he's good. So you see what they did there? That tripped me out a little bit. I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. But yeah, it was more of the same after, so I was like, And Electra comes out here and she's working with Shield, which I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not too familiar with Electra, but from what I know, I don't think she's rolls with Shield. As far as I know, I don't think she has a lot of background with them. So I felt like that felt just thrown in there to me, just to have her in the story. So whatever, she's working with Shield and so forth. John Romita's art, I like his art. I'm a fan. But here, there was at points where it just felt sloppy and rushed. And to get that feel, you really have to to flip into the pages. You don't really get that. But when you're actually reading it, you see where it affects the story and it just feels rushed, like he was late to the deadline or something, and he was just doing it quick and it was looking sloppy, and he was dropping a lot of 2-page spreads and splash pages so that he doesn't have to draw as much just to catch up. Like a few issues were like that, where it's just pure splash pages, and so it's just one panel on 2 pages, right? I kind of noticed that. I was like, wow, I'm just flipping through these pages now, and I guess he was just flipping to the art and it looks off. So yeah, I didn't like that. And I didn't like that whole thing with Electro. I was just like, I don't know, it wasn't for me. The one thing I did like, the one thing I was a big fan of was Gorgon. He's this villain they created and he's dope. Like, he was coming out right here and he's kind of like the samurai, but he's crazy because he's kind of like Medusa. Like, if he sees you, you turn to stone. That's his power. But he's also like one of the deadliest badass motherfucking ninjas out there. I was like, damn, this fool's like Osagio. He's deadly with a sword. And I like him. As far as I know, this was like his first introduction to the character. So he was the one good thing about the story. I was like, this was fucking badass. He pimps the old lady, leader of the hand. Pimps her, his sugar mama. She's old already, he's young. So that he could, now that I'm with her, like, I'm kind of like the leader of the hand as well. And then she hooks up with like the leader of Hydra. Then he kills the leader of Hydra so he could become the leader of Hydra as well. Leading both factions. You know, he's the top dog. So he also has a brain and he's a strategist. You know, I was really liking this character. He's dope. And they talk a little bit about Hydra and the Hand. The Hand has like 2,000 members and Hydra has like 40,000. Just so you could get an idea of how much deeper Hydra is. You know, like they got the numbers. They got the technology. They got all these things that the Hand don't have. But the Hand has the skills. They're trained killers. And a lot of them have been brought back to life so they could just die and keep reincarnating themselves. So they each bring something different to the table. And together it can be something to be reckoned with. Alright, so then the few heroes that were left, they're like hiding in this like witness protection type shit by being protected by S.H.I.E.L.D. Because they're so scared of Wolverine, and then they're so scared of Hydra. All the superheroes come out here as like weenie motherfuckers. They're just scared of everything, and they don't defend themselves, and they're running to S.H.I.E.L.D. for protection and to hide out somewhere. Because Wolverine's so dangerous when all these characters are so much more powerful than him. And then when Hydra is the villain, they're so scared of Hydra, and oh man, like it was all bad, homie. It's all bad. But that's enough for that. What I'm gonna do now is I gave you a brief synopsis and so forth. Now we're gonna get into actual like maybe spoiler territory. I'm gonna show a few of the panels and stuff. This other stuff might actually affect the story some. So if you don't wanna be spoiled, you might not wanna watch this last part. But before you go away, make sure you hit that like button because so you know, do me that favor, and also hit that subscribe button if you ain't already subscribed. And then hit that bell so it can notify you on your feed every time one of my videos is up, so you could check out the next one so you don't miss a beat. Okay, so now we're getting into the interior, so let's get to it. Alright, so here's the cover, but done by John Romita Jr. Here's the back of the cover. It says these are other Wolverine graphic novels. I think directly after this one you would read this one, then this one. They go in this order, so it's just showing you what else connects with this. Here I guess it's like some type of variant cover right here. Nothing much going on there. Here's an introduction by Garth Ennis. Now he points out how he loves this story, it was great, and this and that. Now, it's funny to me that he said that because he's not a superhero fan and the superheroes come off like they don't look good here. So I think that might be why he liked it. Here's some of the sketches. These are just raw pencils. I love when I see raw pencils of artists. You really get to, because the colors can affect the art a lot. So when you just see raw pencils from one artist and another, you really get to see what style you like more. Here's the one colored. Like, a lot of people think Alex Ross is better than Jim Lee and this and that. When you see just their pencils, I don't believe that to be the case. I think Jim Lee's a lot better. Yeah, so Alex Ross has that painted style that just makes the art look a lot different than what Jim Lee's looks. But when you just see the pencils like this from both, see, look at that Wolverine. That shit sucks. Not a fan of that one. Here's the pencils. It looks a little better with the pencils, with just the pencils. Here's Daredevil. Here's the rough draft, just to get an idea of what's exactly going to be happening on that panel. Look at the movement here, swinging. You go from this, swinging with the left, then he's swinging with the left again, which that makes no sense to me. Should have been here swinging with the right or something, I don't know. Movement here felt off. Some more sketches. So you get an idea of the, let me go to one last page. This big splash page. So you get an idea of the bonus material. Let's get into some of the actual interiors of the, have to do with the story now. Okay, here it starts off with see this guy, him and his wife are crying because their kid's been kidnapped. They're just stressed out right here. You see he hasn't gotten sleep like in days. Stressing. Look at him. Very futile situation there. Then here you have Wolverine. Here the story cracks off. Enemy of the state. I like the way they did the rain there. And look at Wolverine just posed there. It has a very samurai feel to it to me. I'm digging this panel right here. This splash page. That shit looks tight. It also has that the way that he draws the rain and the way the water splashes off the bags and stuff. It's very like Frank Miller. If you read Sin City, you know what I'm talking about. He does the same effects with the water. Look at how water's dripping off him and how it splashes on everything. He's very heavily influenced by Frank Miller, in my opinion. Here they do some weird things with the panels. See how they're like long like this? I don't know how you do that digitally. If you're going panel to panel digitally with these, they're just squares, so these would fit nice on the screen. I don't know how you get through with this one and this one though. How you fit that on a TV screen? You clearly have to scroll from left to right. Here's Wolverine. Interrogation. Busting his interrogations, and you're familiar with Wolverine, they ain't nothing nice. Now here you have Electro fighting off the hand. If you're familiar with Electro, with Frank Miller's Electro, I think it's like a thing she always must fight in her underwear. It's a must. This panel looks tight right there too. You see a lot of Frank Miller influence here, in my opinion. This is a pretty tight action scene. Look, she's chopping limbs everywhere. I guess you could get away with it because their blood's not red. Nah, actually, I think this is after the Code Authority thing. Like, even the snow and everything is how Frank Miller does it. Here's Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. One thing I like too, the story's kind of dumb, but it's self-aware. Like, Mark Millar points out, he has the characters through the dialogue point out all the dumb shit with this story
the same things you're thinking. Then he has a character saying, we know this didn't make sense. I could have easily used my psychic power to stop him, but you know, I'm nervous and I panic. Like they'll point out, they'll say shit like that, and you're like, oh, I guess that's their excuse they're going with. These are some of the better pages as far as art wise. Look at the hand is rolling deep. They always rolling numbers though, cause they can't fight. They gotta be jumping fools and shit. Can't even take on a blind man. Wow, that shit is embarrassing. But yeah, the art here is legit, but it's not always the case. Yeah, but look, very even the faces, the way the lips are and stuff are very Frank Miller-esque. Alright, I think I showed enough art so you could kind of get the idea and so forth. So yeah, if you like what you saw, you already know, hit that like button. Alright, so on to the left right here, to the right here, I'm gonna have thumbnails of some of my older videos. Click on them, check them out so you can check out some of my older videos if you like this one. Also on the description down below, click on it and hit those links, man. It's my Twitter link. Follow me on Twitter, and it's my Goodreads. Follow me on Goodreads and I'll follow you back, because I post my reviews right there as well when I'm done finished reading. Post a review on there and I post a book up there so I could keep track of what I've read and I could keep track of what books I have. It's a great place to do that, guys. If you don't have an app or something to do that in, use that as a way to keep track of your books. You could even keep track of single issues. And you know, don't be afraid to post them reviews on there, because if I follow you, I like reading the other people's reviews. And you even have like little book clubs things and book challenges of how many books you plan to read this month, or let's all read this book as a book club. You could set up little stuff like that. Which I kind of want to do myself, but you could do it through Goodreads too once you have enough followers or people that are, you know, to do a book club, you need people to play along. Can't have a book club with just one member. Alright guys, so that's all I got for you, like I said, and I'll check you guys out next time.